See Minis there, this time gridded up on the dummy grid on the outside. And it's a mouth-watering front row between championship leader Jared Fox-Whiteley and his nearest challenger, Lewis Goff. They share the front row. Behind them, Jensen Pritchard and Leon Barlow. Ben Adrian and Jack Burgess are on row number 3. Then it's Freddie Lyons and Ben Horner, Taz Groom and Addison Smith on row 5, with Oliver Fabricius and Callum Foster on row 6. The remaining runners, Benjamin Gordon 13th, Zane Kuwaker 14th and Sam Flynn in 15th place. Kuwaker, of course, the Heat 1 winner, this one being his final third start. He'll have to come through from 14th place. So I think the reason we are being held, I think we have got a recovery out there of Tom Holden's cart, wherever that may be. They are set on their way then here at Hooton Park as they leave the dummy grid holding area and make their way round to try and get as much heat as they can in those tyres in their rolling up lap as they make their way down into the hairpin bottom end of the track. Fox-Whiteley in the orange helmet, Goff in the bright yellow. As they entered this round, between the two of them, there was not many points at all in the championship battle between the two of them. It was a 15-point swing at the start of the day, but then Goff had a 6-point swing in heat number 1. We're away and racing. Goff's on the outside and could well get hung out on the outside, and does so by at least 2 drivers. Leon Barlow is through up into 3rd place. In front from the 35 is Jensen Pritchard, so Goff down into 4th. Plenty of time though as Addison Smith gets crossed up, takes a bit of curb on the inside. That unsettles the 15, though he does live to fight another corner. Kuwaker in the 44 is coming through from his 14th place start, and he's on the back of Fabricius at the moment, so the time begins to elapse, and Leon Barlow down the inside of Jared Fox-Whiteley into the final corner, and Lewis Goff is going to come through as well, and Fox-Whiteley will drop down into 3rd place, and immediately Goff is through on Leon Barlow for 2nd place. Barlow has to drop back in then. Fox-Whiteley is now going to try and get the run down onto Leon Barlow into hairpin 3. Ben Adrian's coming down the inside as well on Barlow and forces his way through. Pritchard isn't going to give up on a top 5 finish either, although just has to slot back into 5th place, as we see in the background. Kuwaker then on the back of Ben Horner and Addison Smith, so that's going to move him up well inside the top 10, potentially I think into at least 8th place, could be 7th over the line with Addison Smith, and that's Jack Burgess bouncing over the grass on the outside. He's got his arm up, so doesn't look too happy, thinks he's been forced out as well. Kuwaker is indeed up into 7th place as the top 4 bounce over the curbs on the outside, and Ben Adrian is up into 2nd place. Fox-Whiteley then dropping down into 3rd. He's going to have track position on Leon Barlow, and that's going to drop them in, but Lewis Goff out at the front, having started on the front row in 2nd place. So Goff leading the way then from Ben Adrian and Jared Fox-Whiteley, although Fox-Whiteley doesn't look like that cart's handling overly well. Struggling to get it turned in fact, into that final corner, as Zane Kuwaker finds a way through on Jensen Pritchard. Goff with a look over the shoulder. In the background, that's Ben Horner going across the grass. He's going to drop it in right behind Taz Groom. Sam Flynn, I think, is going to come through as well. So the entire field will find a way past Horner. That's going to drop him down into 15th place. Goff then leads from Ben Adrian. Jared Fox-Whiteley in 3rd place in front of Leon Barlow, but now Zane Kuwaker is right on the back, and once again it looks like Jared Fox-Whiteley struggling to get that 22 cart turned in. Double look over the shoulder on Leon Barlow, who is then overtaken by a charging Zane Kuwaker. Fabricius tried to do the same on Pritchard, but couldn't get it done and almost lost the place to Addison Smith at the same corner. Kuwaker is through. That's Taz Groom in the 36, who's had a bit of an excursion. That's going to drop him down into 15th place. So Kuwaker now up into 3rd, sorry, with Fox-Whiteley and Leon Barlow 4th and 5th respectively. And make their way over start finish. We're still only 3 laps into this So 3 minutes into this 8 minute plus 1 lap heat as Fabricius gets down the inside of Pritchard, but then gets some snap oversteer, and that's going to allow Addison Smith to get through. Will Fabricius then get the move to the inside? Does. So struggling to get past Pritchard at the moment is Fabricius. As Fox Whiteley holding on there into 4th place as we wait for the field to come through, with Pritchard, Fabricius, Smith, Burgess, Gordon and Foster down to 11th place as Smith finds a way past Fabricius. Kuwaker's coming down the inside of Ben Adrian, and Adrian then gets forced out onto the rumble strip. Look over the shoulder from Lewis Goff with Zane Kuwaker behind. We mentioned in Heat 1, Goff's only real battle out there, other than individual races in terms of championship, is with Jared Fox Whiteley. And whilst I'm sure he wants to win the heat, with Kuwaker guesting here at JKC, Lewis Goff doesn't want to defend too much on Zane Kuwaker, and I'm sure that the sensible head in him sees the championship battle is more important than a single place. And Zane Kuwaker moves through from 14th place at the start to lead us here down the back straight. There's a move in the background. Foster and Benjamin Gordon having a battle down into hairpin number 3. 3 minutes remaining then, as Addison Smith now has found his way past Jenson Pritchard, having got past Oliver Fabricius on the previous lap. Kuwaker leads and has opened up a gap. 36.9, the fastest lap of the race so far for him. Fabricius finally getting past Pritchard down the inside. Pritchard up and over the grass and keeps his foot in. Uses the smoke screen to hold on to the top 10 position in front of Callum Foster. Two and a half remaining. Pritchard then gets his head back down behind the steering wheel. Currently holding on to that position inside the top 10. Fox Whiteley under pressure from Leon Barlow, with Barlow in the slipstream. Fox Whiteley, who did one test session yesterday morning and has pretty much kept it limited in terms of track time here at Hooton Park this weekend due to that injury sustained at Landau, and that's going to have really hampered his preparations for the race day here at Hooton Park. In the heats, it's only 1 point difference between most of the positions, with the exception of the top 3. You get 35, 34 and 33 for winning, finishing in the top 3. Then it drops down to 30 and then sequentially for the remaining places. But Goff has been reeled in here by Ben Adrian, Jared Fox Whiteley and Leon Barlow, and Lewis Goff is going backwards into the pack. Not sure whether he's got a problem or a mistake, but he's lost 0.4 of a second. Ben Adrian out and onto the grass, bouncing onto the thing, and he's going to lose at least a couple of kart lengths now. Whilst Kuwaker is 1.3 seconds down the road, the championship battle is nose to tail on track, with Fox Whiteley and Barlow right on the back of Lewis Goff. Ben Adrian's lost a couple of kart lengths back to Addison Smith, who's coming through quickly as well. On the previous lap, Goff lost 0.4 of a second to Fox Whiteley. On that lap, it was a little bit more stable. In fact, it was slightly quicker than Fox Whiteley and Leon Barlow. Ben Adrian, he will come under pressure in a few moments' time, I think, from Addison Smith, another driver whose kart seems to be focused a lot more towards the end of a race. 40 seconds remaining. We'll get 2 more laps in as they'll get round before the time elapses. And the lap after that will be the last lap board. Kuwaker once again 0.4 quicker than everybody else out there on track. Over start finish for what will be the penultimate time. Last lap but 1 then, with Kuwaker leading the way from Lewis Goff and Jared Fox Whiteley as they head down that back straight towards the turn 3 hairpin. None of them close enough to make a move. In fact, Barlow probably the closest, but he's just pushing Fox Whiteley along at the moment because wants to turn this into a 3-kart battle for second place rather than a 2-kart battle for third, and also conscious that behind he's got Ben Adrian and Addison Smith not too far back, and makes a nice clean move, does Barlow, down the inside of Jared Fox-Whiteley into the final corner. Fox-Whiteley into the slipstream of Barlow. And Addison Smith through as well on Ben Adrian into the first corner. Last lap board is out as Kuwaker has a look over the shoulder to see where his nearest rivals are. The answer 2 seconds back is Fox-Whiteley and Barlow still battle it out over third place, although there's a bit more of a cart width between them. Addison Smith has inserted himself right into this battle with Fox-Whiteley as well as they head towards the final corner, and Smith is down the inside of Fox-Whiteley. There's going to be a drag race to line. I think Fox-Whiteley might have enough, but Kuwaker takes the victory. Goff will be second in front of Barlow. Fox-Whiteley, Smith and Adrian 5th and 6th respectively for Brishers, Burgess, Gordon and Pritchard. Complete your top 10 in front of Callum Foster, Ben Horner, who had that trip across the grass earlier on, and then we await what is still going on as a battle between Sam Flynn and Taz Groom. They'll come through in around about 10 seconds time or so to see where they are, and it's Flynn on the final lap in front of Groom. Freddie Lyons not taking the checkered flag, retiring with 2 laps to go and classified in 15th place.